little more MEK, thin it out just a tiny bit, and then we're going to start right here and work around the edge. And it's about a 1/2 inch, and that just happens to be the width of this brush, so makes it really easy to do, just on the cloth, not so much on the wood. If you get a little on the wood, that's okay. So all the way around, we're going to just do that up from the leading, or from the wing tip, the aileron tip I should say, all the way down the trailing edge. And we're going to do this fairly quickly, because then what we'll do is we're going to fold it over and stick it onto the surface. If you remember, we already put glue on there. So now I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, see if you can see what I'm doing. Right there. And so we're going to take this blade and we're going to cut it to a nice clean edge on the fabric. And this aluminum holder here acts as a width gauge, so I can cut a very nice straight edge all the way around the part, and then also cut the corner angles, so it's not too bad. So you'll see right here, all the way around that edge, it's a nice edge. So I'm going to fold it over now, and it'll start sticking in place. You can see right there, like that. And I do it fairly quickly, as the glue has a few minutes where you can stick it in place like tape. And we're going to go around here, around the leading edge, as you can see. And if it doesn't all stick in place, that's absolutely okay, because we can use later on, we can use the iron and really get it down. So you can see it's starting to go around that edge really nice. And you kind of like press and hold and press and hold, and it'll just go around that edge just as nice as you will. And when you look on the back, you can see that there's no wrinkles at all. So what we can do also is, for some of these big buckles, you can just sit there and cut up like that and like that, and that'll help it overlap itself, and it'll take out those big wrinkles like that. So I'm going to go back down here, kind of press it all along the trailing edge. It's really good. I mean, it's not that hard to do. Next we're going to do this edge right here, the same thing, the trailing edge. A little MEK, a little glue, and we're going to paint it right on the fabric like that. I got my finger underneath it. I'm sort of supporting the fabric here so I can show you a little bit better. Normally I like to do this flat on the workbench. So do that. Now I'm going to position it here and use the cutter here and cut a nice straight edge. And again, like I said, this thing works really nice. You can put that right on there like that, right there like that, and cut a nice straight edge. Again here, I'll cut a little angle right at the tip of each edge. That helps it fold over. So again, we're going to do that folding over job right here. Just go back and forth, pull it up, and you can see it goes over really nice. And the main thing here too is that what you're doing is you're sealing this and really locking it in place. So when we do apply heat to the rest of it, it doesn't pull. It doesn't pull off of the edge. So this next one we're going to do is the leading edge right here, and I'm going to have to do it fairly quick, so we'll come back to the video after I get this all done. So here we're back, and all of the frayed edges have been cut off. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to sit there and just slowly take our time and pull that edge down and press it into place. And it's on there really nice. So that's the first side of the aileron. You can see it here in its entirety. And what we'll do is we're going to cover the second side just like the first, and where the fabric overlaps the other fabric, we'll just put a little bit more of the glue on, fold it over like that, and then we'll come back and then I'll show you how to shrink out all of the fabric wrinkles. Finished now covering the fabric onto the aileron, but I just wanted to show you something here, a little trick that I do. The iron is not plugged in right now, but it has a little bit of buildup of the glue on it. Well, what I like to do is I'll just paint on some raw MEK solvent, and that's the solvent that we use. It cleans the brushes and it activates the glue, and you can see here it's nice and smooth now. A little piece right there. Just a little bit more of that. Let that sit there for a few seconds, and then just use a paper towel, and there you go. There's one nice smooth iron, and that's going to help you get a really good finish if you don't drag burned glue over the top of your new surface. So we're now going to sit there. I'm going to plug it in. It'll take about 10 minutes to heat up, and then I'll show you what else we're going to do. Well, I'm using a 21st century Coverite iron, and it has a thermostat control, and it'll be up to temperature when we start seeing this yellow LED start flashing. But I have it set at 225 degrees, and so you can see here it's flashing. It's 225 degrees, and this is like an ideal temperature for tacking everything down and for getting the wrinkles out of the fabric. So you can see right here that there is a little bit. It's not perfectly smooth, but it's pretty good as far as covering job goes. There's no major wrinkles, just some slack here and there. And then since this stuff shrinks 10 to 15% with heat, it's almost impossible to really screw up a covering finish. So we'll start from the center and work our ways out. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to go over the sealed areas too much. And the first thing we're going to do is go through all of the edges, and we're just going to iron down and use some heat. And anywhere where there's like that bubble wrinkle, we're just going to push it down. So we'll do that first. and try to avoid putting the iron on uncovered wood that has glue on it. It'll just kind of gum up a little bit. So that's all it takes, is just a little reheating and rubbing it down really quick. So we go and we'll catch all of those areas that aren't exactly down smooth. I leave the edge here and the ends here unexposed or exposed. I don't use an additional piece of fabric here because this is where I'm going to be putting my tapes, my rib tapes and surface tapes and so forth, and those will do a good job covering that up. So the last little bit here is on this edge, and that's nice and smooth like that. We'll go over here. Same thing with that trailing edge. I've got this top. The top here goes down about a 1/4 inch here, and on the trailing edge it goes here, goes over the edge, and it's about 3/16 of an inch overlap. So that's plenty, really, to get a good bond. So anyway, just a couple more of these areas where we have these buckles, and they just disappear once you hit them with the right amount of heat and pressure, like that. A little bit right there. So that's it right there, and you can see there's a little bit underneath there, but that's going to be covered over again with some surface tapes. Now we're going to start, like I said, here in the center, and just kind of put it there and let it sit for a second, and you can see right away. Let me see if I can get some of that angle, the light just right. Go on this side here. You can see that little wrinkle there. And we're just going to put this heat right on top of it like that, and it's gone. So a little bit more up here, a little heat like this, like that, and it's tight. That's all you have to do. You don't have to apply a tremendous amount of heat, and you don't have to put hardly any type of pressure on it. And here on the tips, I like to really heat it, so if there's anything that's pressed down, it'll pop up and be free, so the fabric will run smooth from the edges here, the edge of the rib and the edge of the leading edge, right to the leading edge, or the leading roundness here of the trailing edge of the wingtip. So continue that way. Well, that's the bottom. Bottom is done. We'll do the same here at the tip on the top. Like I said, just a little bit of heat. Kind of stay away from the edges. Really take it from the center. And that's it. It's one covered aileron with no wrinkles. One of the things I want to show you also, it's a little bit here. Now this area here, I put glue on there, and this is actually where the slave bracket for the slave pushrod to the top aileron will go on this piece of plywood. So basically all we're going to do is get a little MEK with the 1-inch brush and brush it through, and you can see it goes right through the fabric and reactivates that adhesive right here. So rub it a little bit like that trick before till you don't feel it on your fingertip anymore, and it's done. So if we drill any holes here, the fabric's not going to lift up. We're going to do the same thing over here, and this is the hard point for the control horn, which already has holes in it. So, but that's all you do, just a little bit of a little bit of MEK on the fabric, and just rub it. And you can see right there, there's the two holes, and the third hole right there, that's for my Robart push control horn. That'll go to the aileron servo. And so that's how you cover model airplane parts with scale stitch fabric and polytack glue. It's not that hard. Actually, it's pretty easy. And thanks for watching.